let's get back to prep. Cool. All right, so we are a week and a half, or I guess a week from tomorrow is the phone jam, but starting from Tuesday in a week is Olean Push. And I know we've got a bunch of you guys signed up. I know some of you guys want to go, but you're not allowed to go because you want. And others of you haven't been approved yet, but we'll talk. It is I'm so fired up. I look forward to this every year. I love seeing our administration. I love seeing our CEO. I love seeing our president. Like, everyone's there, all the executives. This is one of the coolest pushes that you'll have, by the way, because I've told a couple of you guys, the push countdown is very unique. We're not in a conference room on a stage. There is a stage, but it's actually at an event center, and depending the size of the group, our group's gotten pretty big. So they've been renting out this like ballroom where they have tables set up, round tables for dinner. And so during dinner, we have all the executives there, CFO, CEO, everybody's there. And they're all sitting at different tables. The president of Cutco, Vector, they're all there. And they're all spread out amongst our tables. Each of us sits usually with someone from Olean. So there's someone from Olean at each table. And we all have dinner together. And then in between dinner and the last session, we have the push countdown. So the push countdown is actually at dinner with all the executives from Olean. So it's pretty sweet to be able to make a statement, make a name for yourself at this event. Just getting on stage, really makes an impact. I believe everyone over $3,000 will have a chance to give their report on stage. For us, anyone who does $6,000 will be winning the limo night that we'll have right after the next prep. So the next prep, just so you guys know, is going to go down. It's going to be right back here. The next prep from 10 to 4. On Saturday after Thanksgiving, because then I have rooms and our limo is going to pick us up downtown, at 7 p.m. to take us for dinner or whatever's happening that night, and depending on the group, we might readjust some things. We're going to have a really fun night. My sister and her husband are coming too, and I'm really excited for it. So we're going to have a blast, and I know that this is a tougher push. We made it an easier number of $6,000, and that just takes consistency, Rosario pretty much did that the past 2 weeks without a push, right? Combined about $6,000 in the last couple weeks selling, and just getting folk out, from selling like $3,000, selling like 2,700, whatever. Like it's just being consistent, and you did that on like 7 or 8 demos, I think, or 7 or 8, less than 7 or 8 sales that you got that knocked out. I know that's one thing that some things really clicked for him. We were talking, he's asking, said, "What do you feel clicked? You worked all summer and sold 8K." And then you almost sold that in just 2 weeks, and he's like, it was just like a confidence, boost. He's like, you just felt confident, going in there, higher expectancy, right? And you're talking about just like expecting more, expecting to close big, selling his first homemaker, and then signature, and dropping some nice big sales there. But it's a combination, of doing demos, but also closing big. And Fran will share some tips and stuff that have helped him because he had a 12K. 12K push for SLC push while going to school full time. If you're on GroupMe, you saw him posting, okay, studying this, doing this, and putting his updates up. But had about close to $1,000 average order. That was the same thing for Rosario's last week. It's about $1,000 average order. So I'd asked Fran to share some tips on, just how he's been closing bigger, because that was a thing for him too. This summer things clicked for him, and he's been rocking it, Francisco. So he'll be going second. I also asked Jeremy, and I wanted Jeremy to lead us, because I think this is so powerful for everybody, especially guys who are away from school right now. And then, those of you on here. But Jeremy, most of his career has been sold virtually. He's sold more virtually than he has on live demos. So he loves his virtual demos. And I wanted him to share keys, why he loves virtual demos, tips on the virtual demos, and also open up for some Q&A so we can really map. Because even those of you guys who are local, you're missing out on business by not also adding virtuals into your arsenal, by the way. You're missing business because every one of your customers has a friend or a family member that lives somewhere else. Every single one of them. So by not having, by not being, great or confident with virtuals, by not asking every person, hey, by the way, who do you know that lives? Also, I can do virtual demos. Do you have any good friends or family member outside of Houston that would be awesome to do a demo with? I'm like, oh my God, my sister loves to cook, and getting those extra people from each live demo you see that you can do virtuals and rock some big sales with those. So I want to hand it over to Jeremy. Jeremy Jones, those of you guys at CFC, I know he spoke there, but I really wanted him to talk here with us, and then be able to answer questions in our small group here. Because I know there we didn't really get that much time for much Q&A, but this is something that can make the impact. And I know Britta helps with it. Britta for SC2 had a 10K push, and 100% of it was virtually, okay? So for those of you like, I can sell virtual demos, or I don't like virtual, that's all in your head. And so we need to get past that, because you can sell a lot of Cutco on virtual demos. We have the living proof of that everywhere. All right, so I'm going to hand things over to Mr. Jones. We can give him a round of applause. Thank you.
And I do have a sample kit for Jude, because the rumor is I don't have one because I sell over the computer. I do have a sample kit, Jude. Here it is. That's awesome. This is mine. I promise. That's awesome. Now on virtuals, I wrote these out because this is basically everything I'm going to cover. This is how I do my virtual demos. Those who are at CFC understand there's a couple things that are on here that weren't on my script for CFC, but yes. Or should I sit?
It's up to you. You can sit.
So this would be the first step, which will be scheduling the demo, which makes no sense. So when when you're new to Cutco, for any new reps, the best place to start is page 24 in your manual. That's the basic script to book a demo. Personally, I use Kathy's phone approach, the CAT phone approach, the Chanksa. I don't know if you guys have that. If you don't, definitely get your hands on it. At least that's one that I use. But really, with people I just met, I use page 24, and I still tell people I'm new to the company, even though I know I'm not. Why do they need to know that I'm not new to the company? I tell them I'm new. I tell them I'm about to get a scholarship with the company still, even though I've been working since June. So even to new people I meet, I'm like, hey, I just started this job, even though I haven't. But I'm trying to win a scholarship for this company. And if they ask, your career sales and stuff, you can tell them. But like I said, I tell them I'm new, so they don't really ask that question.
You guys are new. And it's in relative to who?
Right.
A lot of the veterans have been here several years.
Exactly.
They're a lot more experienced, but you guys are still learning.
Right. And then the next thing, and I tell them this, I say, hey, I go to Tyler Junior College. That's where I go to school. And I'm a business marketing major. And I'm using this job to really pay for school. And this job is the reason why I landed my intern. And I'm saying this because you want to tell your customer your why behind working with Cutco. I spent a lot of time coaching with Mike Lanzetta. He coached me this summer. And that's really one thing that was my main takeaway from him, is finding a why behind why I do everything. My why behind working with Cutco was this job won me not won, but I earned it, my internship with a company in my dream city in LA. After my sophomore year, I have an internship with SunEdison, and it's basically a solar panel company. And I did a presentation with him, and he offered me the internship like immediately. He was like, hey, sign up now, like I'll pay for you to fly to LA. Anyway, so I'm saying that to say you got to, tie your customer down, not with something, crazy, but that's my why behind why I'm working with Cutco, if that makes sense. And I tell them, yeah, I go to TJC, this is the job, and this is the reason why I'm able to work with SunEdison. That's my internship that I just told you about. And after that, I immediately thank my customer, Miss Jones, Mr. Jones, after I tell people, my why behind Cutco, just because they don't have to help us out. These knives are very expensive, and if people know about Cutco, they know it's expensive, so they don't have to help us out. So I'm really big on showing appreciation to my customers. Is there any questions, by the way? All right, cool. Yeah, I'll give you some time to write. And now the next thing I'm going to cover is basically the 3 questions that help set up the success for the entire demo. So these 3 questions I ask the same time after every demo, right in the beginning. These are the 3 questions I ask, and these set up, possible upsells at the end of the presentation online. You just have to rock it. Now the first question I ask is, do you have any family outside of the city or state, like Kathy said? That's my first question. I want to know now, and if so, I say, hey, great. Who and how many? Because that right there is immediately setting you up to get recs outside of Texas or outside of Houston or wherever you are. Because right now I'm still trying to meet people in Tyler. So when I meet with people at stores, I'm like, hey, do you know anybody? Because I've done a presentation with my professors. I wrote my paper about why you should buy Cutco and not Winston-O. That was my paper. And she was like, hey, do an appointment with me. I was like, okay, cool. So now I'm starting to meet people in Tyler. The second question I ask is, does your husband hunt or fish? And I only ask these questions because they help you out at the end of the demo. And they haven't done me injustice yet. And the third question I ask is, do you have any friends that enjoy cooking? And I take note of that mentally, just because, like I said, if they have friends and family outside of Texas, then I'm sure some of them certainly cook. So they can't tell you they don't have any friends outside of Texas when they already told you they did. So you're setting up objections in the beginning of the demo. Now next, I would say after you book and after you thank Miss Jones, and this goes back to, by the way, setting up the demo. Now, I don't know how you guys firm up, but I stapled the firm up page. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a page that's in HTX and it says firm up and it gives you the steps. I stapled that to the back of my manual approach, so I just flip it over and I say, instead of that approach, I just say, hey, write down my confirmation and write down the time we're meeting tomorrow. I shared that with you guys at CFC. I still do the same thing. The confirmation is just your rep number. You repeat it like 3 times just so they hear it. And you say, all right, cool, Saturday at 2. All right, cool, Saturday at 2. All right, cool, Saturday at 2. Before you get off the phone, just make sure you repeat it over in the minus. It'll stick in their head. And that's, that's simple. You just want to show a lot of appreciation. This is before the demo really kicks off. And yeah, like I said, you grab a pen and paper, have them write this down. Make sure they have a pen and paper at all times. But other than that, that's the first step, which would be scheduling the demo. Next step, during the demo, I create a lot of energy and I maintain my energy throughout the entire demo. I can't really teach energy. Like I wouldn't know how to describe that for you, but my energy stays at a 10 and I don't let it get below a 10 the entire time because it's a lot of videos, it's online, she could be texting. I want to keep her engaged with me the entire time. This is my hour, this is my time to work with that customer, Miss Jones, and I want her sale. Whether it's a trimmer, whether it's a Siggy, I want her sale. And I want her attention. So during the demo, I would just say, whatever you have to do to create energy, I would definitely do that. And it's simple. I have it in here. If you don't give Miss Jones a reason why she should jump on your back and help you out, then what's the benefit? And what are you doing? Why should she help you, if you're boring? That's straight up. Give her a reason, to help you. And like I said, that's more the why behind why you're working with Cutco. Give her a reason to help you. Give her a reason to want to help you win the scholarship so you can be student loan free. That's what I tell everybody outside of baseball. And like I said, this also helps set up recommendations because if you rock the demo and you have energy and you don't let it go below a 10, why wouldn't you want to show friends about you and pages and pages of friends about you? Does anybody have any questions, by the way? Okay. So yeah, like I said, this helps set up recommendations. And at that point, you've already won the demo. You grab her emotionally and personally. Like I talked about this at CFC, the emotional personal thing, and I just kind of replaced that with energy. I'll let you kind of determine where your energy is and just keep your energy level high. Throw in some funny jokes, ask her questions that you think would maintain or boost your sale. Ask her questions about her goals in college. Trust me, Miss Jones is going to freak out if you ask her about her goals because nobody does. Nobody asks her about her time. Society now is fast paced. Everybody's got something to do. So Miss Jones hears you asking about her goals. She thinks she's special, which she is because she's helping us out. So I'll give you a sec to write that down. And lastly, which all I have written down is closing the demo. I'll give you guys a sec to write that down. Now, when you're talking prices, have all of you raise your hands if you've done a virtual demo. Okay, so a majority of you have an idea. Whenever you're talking prices and you're showing the Wusthof and Shin comparison page, I ask her, hey, make sure you have a piece of paper on this slide. And whenever I show that, I compare those sets to the complete set and the Siggy set with Cutco. And I'll have them write it down. Okay, so the Wusthof price is this and this. You have them cross it out. The Shun price is this and this. And then, okay, cool, Miss Jones. Below that, write the complete and the signature sets. And then I have them write down the complete set, just so you know, is $27.89. And I have them cross it out, I cross this out. And then I have them write $557, which would be the easy pay or the whatever they paid today. So you can do the math. And then I do the same thing for the Siggy set. And hey, the Siggy is $20.69. Cross it out, you'd only be paying $413 today. And if you want the Siggy with table knives, cool. It's $18.19, but today it's only $363. And that alone, they can see the price difference and like, oh, cool. And then before me even closing regular with the homemaker, do you know what I'm talking about? Because the homemaker is the next page and usually you would close. Sometimes they're like, oh my God, I want the Siggy set. Before I even close on the homemaker. I'm like, okay, so what else do you want? And that's just because they see the difference in prices between Wusthof and Shun, and then you show complete and the Siggy, and they're we're talking about the homemaker, and then you flip the page, and then you see the homemaker, and they're like, oh my God, no, I want the Siggy set because it's that much more value, and they've already seen the prices of the higher sets. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So I have written, whenever you talk prices after you show them the Wusthof and Schoen, make sure they write down and cross out the same prices and circle what they'll be paying today, because Ms. Jones wants to see that it's definitely a lot different. The 413 and the 363 for the Siggy doesn't compare to the $1,099 that they're going to pay even for the Wusthof or Schoen set on sale. Does that make sense? Because they don't offer, investment options like we do. Yeah, because that impresses the customer, especially with the price difference. It's huge. But other than that, that's all I have for virtuals. Just maintain your energy throughout the entire demo. Go ahead.
How do you explain the complete the Siggy? They haven't seen it.
Well, yeah, on the virtual, you can have them click over, and it'll show the complete in the Siggy. It's right after the price comparison. It'll be the complete on the left and then the Siggy on the right, and then
Videos are under the additional features.
exactly.
So with most of the videos, I'm really awkwardly silent, so I'm not sure what to say during the videos. Like especially the Modern Marvels video.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a really cool video, and my customers always really like it. I just
hype up the modern. When I get to that, I'm like, hey, this next video you're gonna watch is on Modern Marvels. It's really cool just because this product is featured on the show, and not many products can be featured on the show. But you don't have to watch this video. Let's go ahead and go on to the next level. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's usually the thing that really gets my customers interested in the Petro, so I usually let them watch the Modern Marvels video. And so I usually don't know what to say. I just usually say just let me know when that video is finished, because I never know if I should talk during the video.
Well, you can tell him, the guy in that video that's actually, doing the talking, he's doing the cutting. You can let him know, hey, he's been doing that for a very long time. I don't know the exact number of years, but Britta told me at CFC, I'll get that and I'll shoot it to you if you want. But I just let him know that same guy that's been doing that, he's been doing that for a very long time. And that's something
you don't need that video. I mean, if you want to watch it, you can. You don't even need to. Or you let them start watching. You say, oh, you can watch the rest of it later. But they get at least see the beginning of it. You don't need to watch that whole video.
That's what I do, because they get bored and then they think you're going to make them watch every video. Does that make sense? And it takes forever. That's what makes your demo long. You want a short demo. You want Ms. Jones happy. You want her to see everything and get off to it.
And you were saying the other ones that are quiet. Those are for you to be talking through them. And the ones with all the cutting, you don't leave the whole video playing. It just the reason. By the way, my guy and his wife made that video. Just so you know, the guy cutting and his wife are Tyler and Aaron Tarr.
That's awesome. I owe them a lot of appreciation.
Yeah, so he started with me. He was one of my top reps in 05, 06, ran my office. My father and I, he worked with me forever. He worked in Florida. His mom lived in Kansas. His dad lived in Georgia. So he had to do virtuals because all his family and people were all everywhere else. So he's the one that helped put that together.
That's awesome.
And he ran our Tallahassee office where many of the kids all just did virtuals. They all grew up on virtuals, and that's what he knew, and they all crushed it. And that's when he left it to Carlos Cordero, who they crushed it now virtual demos too. And that was a big factor. And so we did the videos. When he did those videos, it was to be long enough to share whatever stories, to share whatever personal things, to share whatever that you want to share, right? Sometimes you might have a story, like I'll say, oh, with the paring knife, like, oh my God, I love that one when I make guacamole. Like I always use it. My mom, she likes to eat apples like she's hooked in. When like in the air, I'll use it for topping off strawberries, and I'll be giving examples. You might have some different stories or examples. All right, don't go anywhere. I want to have questions for you. But I'll give different examples. And whenever I'm done, and they're like, oh yeah. All right, I'm like, all right, go ahead and click on the next one. Mm-hmm. So it's just really long to allow you enough time to give whatever stories you want to give. But as soon as they're like, oh yeah, I use that, because every time your objective during that section, period, in names and uses, they go, oh yeah, I use that, oh yeah, I use that, oh yeah, I use that, right? So when you're like, oh, do you guys ever, and that's a real big question if you don't ask, that should be in your demo, hey, do you guys ever cut anything in the air, like plantains or this or that? Oh, that thing's awesome for X, Y, and Z. Once you get a yes, you're good. Share whatever story you want to go, all right, go ahead and click on the next one. So next one you're set is your small utility tool. So this guy right here is awesome. Do you guys ever do this or this or this? And you're just chatting and there's just video going on while you're just like, so they have something to look at while you're talking.
Because it substitutes for the present demo so they can see what's going on. I don't
ever have my and I like to talk a little bit more on the trimmer because I love when they see the tomato, when he goes super fast on the tomato, and also the chicken too, like just how easy, early on the, how easy that is. But then I'm like, all right, go ahead and click on the next one, and so you can just leave it long enough. You can watch the videos and see if there's certain ones you want them to watch, but they're just long The only reason they're long is to give you enough time to tell whatever stories you like to give. As soon as you're done with whatever story, like, oh yeah, cool, click on the next one, and you just move. So it's not meant for them to watch every freaking cutting part of every video. It was just to be a space holder. That's a valuable space holder if you're like talking to them. Cool. So just so you guys are aware, because my guy made those.
So yeah, those 3 questions that I had you guys write down, that's very important. Those handle objections in the beginning before you even start the demo. And that's the reason whenever I started doing that, that's when my sales started to increase a lot.
Can you repeat the third one again?
Yes. Do you have any friends that enjoy cooking outside of H-Town, outside of Austin, outside of Tyler, wherever you are?
No, what else? And I want you guys to ask real questions. Some of you guys I know are like scared to do virtuals, or you don't have results on virtual. What are the issues? What are the real issues? What are you scared of? What are you having issues with? Like, let's go. He's an ass kicker on virtuals. Roxy runs the world with it. So let's go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Let's go.
An email like for the recommendations, or do you have them like, hey, you're on the phone, like,
No.
what's their name? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you give them time. I've learned they don't do it. They don't get back to you. People don't hold their word, unfortunately. You have them now. Hey, I'm on the phone with you right now. Let's do this right now. I'm in a competition. Let's get this done. And and of course, if you sound too pushy, then okay, I'll email you in a couple of days. Can I have a list? And then there's a text that you can send out. Hey, I just met this guy. You know what I'm talking about? I do that all the time, every day. Go ahead, Reedy.
Okay. So aside from the easy pay, is there anything else you use to handle the objection of like, oh, it's $1,800. I wasn't expecting to spend this much. Like it's online. Like
Doesn't matter if it's virtual or live. It's the same thing.
Right.
But they had a chance to hold it live, and I get like online shopping and stuff.
You get a chance to see it. It's exactly, that's in your head. It's the exact same
Right.
thing. They're seeing what it does. Holding it or looking, it doesn't matter. They're seeing what the product does, and it's enough to give them confidence to put security deposit to try
And
it
my
out for a
thing is,
month.
I want to build enough rapport, like before in phone time, to where I know what she wants. So like, I don't want to present her a homemaker if I know she doesn't need one. Like I ask her, like, do you have kaka? How much do you have? Like, what other knives do you have? And if I know she doesn't need a homemaker, then I won't promote the homemaker. I mean, there's 3-piece specials that I'll go after hard. And if I know that, then that's what I'll do. But if I know she already has knives, and if I know, it's kind of going to be a sketchy thing if I'm pushing the homemaker and she doesn't need it, I won't even push it. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do, but hey, Ms. Jones, I'm trying to hook you up. This is what I think we should look at today. And then you go straight to those slides. That's what I do.
Where do you typically do your virtuals?
Funny, I wake up, like one time I woke up late, I was in my bed. I had my tank on and my boxers, I was in bed. I mean, I'm at home, it's my computer, they don't see me online, I do my virtuals in bed.
Just to double check, those 3 questions, do you ask them on the phone, like when you're booking them?
Yes.
So for me, and I get Kathy, this could be you too. On the virtuals I'm doing for College Station, how do you know what's too much? I feel like I'm so, like I had one where I was so like live, like I was into it, and my queue just was not responding at all.
There's also part of mirroring too. Like you want to elevate energy to elevate their energy, but if they're not coming up to try to meet you somewhere, then you need to come down a little bit so that they're comfortable.
Because I have a problem
Is that they
matching their
just be
energy on the phone.
uncomfortable?
Because I mean, some people, like Jeremy, he's like a laid back guy. Like he can have energy. I've seen it virtual, but it's like he's just like, he's like lower, like my, it's like my energy and his energy is different.
Yeah.
But I have problems matching energy on the phone. That's my thing with my virtuals. Like I've never sold a set on, but I've sold pieces, but I haven't like sold.
Just slow down a little bit. Talk a little slower. That's what I do because I'm and it's just make yourself just talk a little slower, and like that'll just feel a little bit more comfortable for them. Like literally, like the tempo will just like calm it down a little bit.
So you just told me that there's a recording of you doing a virtual. Did you guys post it anywhere?
I have it.
Tevin,
Someone
I have
sent
it.
me
Me and
an email.
Tevin.
and I think that was the day,
2
that was a
months ago,
virtual,
I asked
I think I sold a
Siggy
Siggy.
was steak in
Where
20
is it?
minutes. Oh my
It's on
God.
this
Oh,
phone.
it's
Siggy was steak
And it was in like
in
15
20
You
minutes.
can't send it?
I have to like put it on. Upload it
Can you
on-
upload?
I have
Wait,
a
that was
voice,
the-
I
that
have
was
a
the-
voice memo and a video, so I can try to find a way to make it into like a.
That was the example when I compared prices early, and I didn't before I regularly closed on the homemaker. She was like, "Oh, I have steak knives, and I can get this." I want the Siggy right now, and that's the one that you have on your phone.
Yeah.
He knows and
I'd
like, I
like
didn't
to
even
do
finish
another
it.
one that you can do on my live stream a different day. I'll give you my login so that it can just be recorded on there. Other questions? Any other questions? Ben, what are your issues with virtual demos?
Oh. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's because I talk too fast, honestly.
I had a really big problem with that.
Mhm. So mumbling, talking too fast, that'll definitely make an impact on the phone because you don't have the nonverbal aspect of communication. So definitely the verbal aspect comes into play a lot stronger. So any other?
What if they're out of the country? Like I have a guy that wants to do a demo, and he's in Thailand.
Thailand?
Yeah, and it's like, I'm gonna have to buy a phone card to do this. Should I just like tell him like, since you live over there?
I mean,
Check my mic on.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know how that. I don't know how that.
Facebook.
What'd you say?
Do we do it tonight or should I do it?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
No, you
I don't
gotta.
know.
So you gotta
have to
send it to
yourself.
yourself.
I haven't had any
You have to
international
call
customers yet. Yeah.
They'll be like,
So when you're on your demos or like
That's
you
what
get
I
a
saw.
you want to use specific locations at any time?
I'm like, hey, who do you know? You know, if I want to.
all right, the rest of it, Jeremy will be at Buffalo Wild Wings. answering
Yeah.
these questions. So now, Francisco. Yeah. So Fran, by the way, really had a breakout end of the summer. You know, from he started with Cutco 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it sold. Really, I think you've sold since like July till now. What you sold in your first 2 years?
Way more.
So in his career, I think it's pretty awesome. And so there was I know he had an opportunity to meet one of my best friends in the world. He also had a chance to come to Haiti with us, which was awesome to have him down in Haiti, helping us with the clinic. We're getting ready to open this spring, so very excited about it. But he worked his tail off in Haiti with us, and really just some things clicked for him. You know, even before we left to Haiti, had a 10K push, was the #1 pusher for CFC, won the branch, crushed it, and then came back. The next push period we just had, boom, went out, crushed another 10K push. It was like 12K, 11, 12K push for SLC push. And it's not like he was just like had nothing to do. He's got a lot of schoolwork, a heavy load with all his schoolwork. It's not just like a, I don't know, whatever, business class. And like I've had business classes that were a joke, or like an English class that are pretty easy or you can breeze by, but just intense workload, lots of studying, lots of work that has to get done for classes, and really being able to balance that out. So just I asked you to share keys to really structuring so that you can go out and have big sales performance around a heavy school schedule, and also any keys that he wanted to share on things that helped him, like just kind of like what made the switch happen, what's helped him, what changed, why is he selling. His average order's gone to over $1,000 pretty much on his demos, and just absolutely crushing his sales. So I want him to give some tips, and then we can have a little Q&A, and we'll go into our last portion of the day. So all you, Mr. Friends, so you can applause. And by the way, are we three times? So I haven't gotten your official letter yet.
Which one?
So for branch,
Oh.
one more time. So I know we talked the other day, and I know he's excited, and him and Wasim are mapping everything out to go out for a third time and run a 3-time branch and crush it this next year, and go out and compete at a high level. So ready to lead from the front, and he's doing that in a sales capacity, and I'm just so excited for him to develop so many amazing sales leaders. And you guys, those who don't know Fran closely, get to know him. He's one of the biggest hearts. And just, loves people, loves serving, loves giving, and is damn good. And it's so exciting to see him performing where he's at. So, all you.
He doesn't like shirts. You don't like shirts.
Whatever. I'm getting embarrassed. Okay, so just to really, I guess, make things official, I do want to branch. I'm planning on branching, so I plan on going in preparation. Plus, I plan on freaking kick butt and selling with my team at the end, and crushing everybody here in personal sales again. So.
We'll see.
So as a branch with my team. Okay guys, the only thing I really just want to say, I'm going to give you quick to the point in terms of planning and how I go through school and everything, and then just give you some demo tips, some gold nuggets that everybody likes. Cool? Cool. Okay, everybody likes nuggets, right? So guys, one thing I do want you to realize, this is a job, we're professionals. The thing I do really want to go ahead and state is that I'm building my future this job. The reason I got this job a few years ago is because I want to win that freaking scholarship, and I want to pay for my own school. My parents don't pay for my own school. HBU is $15.5 a semester, and I plan on paying $160 the next couple of years to graduate debt free. I have a financial plan set, and I'm ready to do it. And it starts with being a professional, taking care of your crap, and being responsible, not crying about things at school. So yeah, I do this because in terms of my future, I want to build the skills I want, the preparation, more importantly, become professional. So here's the first thing I really want to go ahead and state that makes me different from all my previous semesters and why I'm having my best semesters over my classes and my cells. Plan a week in advance. I choose Sunday, about 1 to 2 hours, to plan everything out every Sunday. Okay? And then about 4 days later, I go back to my plan, Friday typically, before my first demo of the day, and then I review it and then extend it past that following week. So I extend it maybe to Tuesday because I plan on scheduling demos from that day onwards. Yeah. So Sunday, plan the week. Friday hits, I plan for the next Monday and Tuesday my demo slots and just wherever I really need. Okay? So not really demo slots, but like everything else in life around my demos. That's number one. Also, I keep my demo slots the same time every week. I do not change them. I do not like changing them. The only way I will change them is if I have one money exception that Mrs. Jones told me, do this demo for them, they're gonna buy an ultimate from you. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Do this demo for them, we're gonna get cookware and ultimate. All right, I'll call them. Okay? Double star it, like freaking, you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So you have to stick to your schedule, guys. I don't know if you guys are just preaching to the choir, but guys, I've been going to school this is my 4th year now, and I stick to my schedule, and I'm doing what I'm doing. So stick to your schedule. The next thing is the thing I do with my demos, my last 2 demos of the day. Now my demos are kind of long, by the way, compared to everybody else's, but for my personal reasons, my last demos, the 2 demos of the day, whenever I have them, is 3 to 4 hours apart. That way, if I don't take that much time with my demo, I typically have 30 minutes to an hour before my next demo, so I can do evening phone time while I'm waiting in front of their house, and I don't have to worry about traffic or anything else. I'm early to my next demo. So tip, your last 2 demos, make sure you get early to your next one and split them far enough apart so you can do that. You can phone time at night. So I like to do phone demos in the evening, and I like saving the morning to the afternoon for school. The next tip, guys, do phone time every day. I don't care if it's 5 to 10 calls, but typically Monday through Friday after my first 8 a.m. class, some of you guys are lucky who don't have 8 a.m. class because I wish I could freaking do phone time like that. More freaking like, I wish so much. But it's the moneyest time to do freaking phone time. So anyways, after my first 8 a.m. class, Monday through Friday, I always do at least 5 to 10 calls. If I have more time, if I don't have to study for my mechanics quiz for either quantum or classical, I take the extra time to make an extra 15 calls. Typically, it takes between 30 minutes to an hour after my first class. So phone time every day, Monday through Friday. I typically do after my first class. That's me, whatever your schedule fits. 5 calls at least, 10 calls at least. Like, come on. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I have a full sell day for Saturday where I just make it all day demos. And if a demo doesn't happen, I'll typically use it to send out some emails, send out some thank you letters. I'd be productive Saturday for my business, and it's something I've been doing now, and I plan on really fully going through this Saturday. So anyway, that's a side tip. The next one is, other than phone time every day, is, guys, your environment is everything. I do not freaking get stuff done at school unless I'm with my best friend Raphael, who's another physics major with me, and we're freaking locked up in the math lab with nobody else there. If you're like me, I can't have people because I'm a freaking social butterfly. Okay? So make sure you go to a Starbucks, a Panera Bread, or whatever the heck, because we are responsible, we're professionals, we're adults. You need to be somewhere where you're going to be 110% efficient. For me, that's Panera Bread. Every Sunday, I make that day, my day, to be I camp out at Panera Bread from 10 a.m. to freaking 9 p.m. That's me, though. You don't have to be that extreme. I'm an extremist. I get my breakfast there. I typically do my schoolwork from 10 a.m. to about 4 in the afternoon, and I make 60, 90 calls after that. If it takes me 3 or 4 hours, cool. 3 hours, cool. If I need to take that extra hour, I'll take that extra hour to make phone calls. Otherwise, I'll just go home and do my homework or whatever the heck I want. That's typically what I do. Sundays is just all day school and then phone time. I mean, my point is, your environment is everything. Make sure you're in a place where you're going to do phone time where you're not going to get distracted, no matter what. Okay? Because if I do it at home, I'm always going to keep knocking on my door. Mother's just going to ask me to do something. I don't know. So distraction, avoid it. We're professionals. I guess the other tip I really want to go ahead and put guys, reach out to people who are selling a lot, and not just people who are selling a lot, but are selling a lot who are going to school, okay? Or people who have sold a lot and have gone to school before, like Jonathan Schmitz, James Rushing. For me, it was Andy. Just reach out to people, guys, because like honestly, I like seeing people who sell a lot, but if they haven't gone through school, I really don't care what they say. You know, you can sell all you want, but like, you know, I'm a double major in math and physics, and when Andy told me he got a 4.0 GPA doing what he did, I was like, freak, I can do it too and still do $75,000 this campaign. Okay, so that's that. Any questions on the planning? So, yeah. Okay, then you just had easy phone time. Just make sure you knock out your 15 calls. It's all about commitment, consistency. That's all it is. Don't worry about it. Now, for me, that works out. I typically get people a call. Now, I do want to say, whenever you have like a freaking demo canceled or rescheduled, kind of work at that time anyway. I all the time, and Kathy said this before to noobs, but I feel like some of us forget. I honestly get to I sit down, I make phone calls, and then I schedule a demo right then and there, like 30 minutes away. Like, okay, cool. Or I just call my next demo, reschedule it, and alley-oop from that to the next demo. Use your skills we use in Vector, guys, because we can be super freaking efficient people. Anyway, that's that. Any other questions? So to reiterate, plan your week in advance. I make my last 2 demos 3 to 4 hours apart so I can have evening time available to phone time. Number 3, phone calls every day. Number 4, your environment is everything. Be sure you're in a place where you can study and or make calls. And number 5, reach out to people who sell a lot and go to school. Any questions?
Yeah, since you're taking your double major, what are some popular times for you? Like when do you study?
When do I study?
Yeah, when do you go to bed every night? Just curious.
I'm not going to bed anymore the latest after 11 o'clock. No more. I don't care. Because like after 11 o'clock, I've been trying to do homework. It never works out. I always tell myself, you know, I can take a nap right now and do homework after a demo at 11 o'clock, but I cannot do a freaking 5-page proof at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. It's not going to work, you know? And it takes me about 4 to 5 hours to figure out a proof when I have like 3 of them due, and I just can't do that at night. I'm ready to sleep, you know?
So do you have like a day that you do all that, or?
Yeah, so like I said, Monday, I structure like this. Monday, it's my all-day demos. I have class from 8 to 12. I have an 8 a.m. to 9, and then I have an 11
You basically just schedule it on your class.
Yeah, so I have 3 demos in the evening Monday, 2 demos in the evening Tuesday, and then 1 demo in the afternoon Wednesday. I don't do any demos Thursday, and I do 2 demos in the evening Friday. Long story short, my mornings and afternoons typically are my time to study.
Okay.
Don't spend the time wasting time, because we're better than that. We're building futures here. Right. Saturday, does that help? Kind of. This semester is my smallest hour. I took 12. I'm taking 12 hours, but I independently I just go to the research class. It's 4 hours every Friday because I need to do research anyway. And if I do my research, I do that.
What's your social life like?
Um,
You sound like I'm so serious. You sound like you're really busy. You're selling your phone and you're studying. So
talk to my best friends. That's it. I just talk to my best friends, Andy, and a couple of my friends from school. My best friends are the ones who are my physics majors with me, because we're going through it together. I talk to them, we hang out, we go eat, celebrate after a quantum mechanics exam, 3-hour quantum mechanics exam every Thursday, and then we just go out and eat, and then go home or something like that. I mean, I spend my time with people who are gonna help me, with my stuff. You get what I'm saying? I used to be a huge social butterfly, but now there's only like 3 people I really spend time with. You know, it's reality. You know, you're the average of 5 people you hang out most of the day. So, any more questions on planning? Cool. So school, just be on top of your game, be professionals. Make a plan and just execute it. Every Sunday, plan it out. And make sure you have your demos in the evening like I do. That works for me. And just be productive from the time that you plan. You'll be fine.
What's one thing that you
plan? You just need to plan. Here's the thing. You have to plan your stuff. You asked about social life. My senior year, I was writing my thesis, 40-page thesis. I was a pilot sales manager. I was taking 16 credit hours each semester, but like my last load, my heaviest load, I was involved with sports, I was involved with church. I had a lot of crap going on. But I knew Thursday nights, I always hung out with all my friends. We went down to Kamada Street. I always went out that night. I slept until 11 on Friday. And every Saturday night, we all partied and went out. And I did that every week. You know, they knew those were nights. Tuesday night was my date night with my boyfriend. I did my stuff. After 8:30, it was his time. You know, but I was busy until 8:30. Then I'd meet him, and we'd always have our date night, go to the movies, go to dinner, do whatever. we do that there. So it's you just have to structure it. When you're doing a lot, you have to structure it. And that's where there's a little discipline in doing things now that other people won't do, so you can do things later that they can't. So you're setting yourself apart. So that's why I said earlier, you want to take it easy now, go party, do whatever. It takes longer, but if you can have discipline now, you can still find a freaking blast. I could out party anybody and have a great time, but there was a time to do it,
I do want to add that. So every month I have a weekend that I plan out. So I plan out my months in advance already. But I have a month where I have a weekend where I'm going to go out. In November, I plan to go to Mexico to see a Kygo concert. Okay? Every Saturday night is my time to just go do something. If not, oh well, just watch TV or read manga or play read physics articles. I don't know, something nerdy. Right? Or just go play. I don't know. So anyway, that's that. So sales tips real quick. Golden nuggets I want to give you guys is so my demos are based on intimacy and relationships. My demos are typically 2.5 hours to maybe 3.5 hours long. Sometimes they go to 4, but I sell a ton. The reason I do it though is because I spend my time with Mrs. Jones, let them complain, or I help them take Mrs. Jones' side or her husband's side. I use her kids as an advantage, like, hey, tell her get the ultimate. Things like that, like, do it, help me figure this out. I do things like that all the time. I play Uno with their kids, so relationship building. Get to know them, have fun, and just be part of their family. I park in their driveway because I'm their family. So I'm like coming home, It's like when family comes up. So anyway, so build connections, guys. And I have something Tevin made me realize is a huge difference that made me sell a lot more is that I know my stuff. I have my demo memorized, and this is basics, right? I know everything about cookware. I know everything about flour they need to know. If they ask me questions, I can answer right then and there. Cool. They get a Siggy set. I just sold a medium cookware set with signature. With a signature this morning on the way here. Or I closed it. But what happened is just you give them the options, you give them some discounts, but that's me just talking. Relationships. I make my demos long for that reason. I have customers for life. And confidence, guys. If you guys really want to know how I do my demo, it's essentially the demo up to the price comparison. And then I present, and then Alex Chavez taught me this. So if you guys want to learn this, go see Alex Chavez's demo. I present the signature pieces first, sell them on that. Then I build up, then I say the petite santoku. Instead of getting the petite santoku in the complete set, you get the 7-inch santoku. And then I build up all the complete set pieces. And guys, does anybody here feel Mrs. Jones overwhelmed when she's like, I'm not gonna use that cleaver or like a salmon knife? So something I say that's key is I build up every piece. Like when I get to the cleaver, I was like, hey, Mrs. Jones, you're probably only gonna use this one like 2 to 3 times a year, but when you get to use it, oh my gosh, you're gonna feel great. Also, but honestly, most of my customers just really use it for frozen foods. It's just gonna chip their other edges. Plus, like smack that cucumber, or like no, with anger, do it. And then whenever it's other. Can you repeat that? Yeah. So Alex Chavez's demo. Okay. But also cleaver. So Mrs. Jones is your cleaver. You'll probably only use it 1 or 3 times a year, but when you get to, you're gonna have some fun, something like that. And then I say, but really, honestly, most of my customers just really use it for their frozen foods. A lot of my Hispanics and Asian ones use it for their intense cooking with blown bones and everything. But I'd be honest with them, sincere. You're not really gonna use this one. And then I build the rest like bonus pieces. You get a salmon knife, which is an awesome bonus piece. It is your sharpest knife you're gonna have. You can't have your set of knives that have the sharpest knife. It's so freaking awesome. You have to be excited about every single one, but make them realize that, hey, Mrs. Jones, a salmon knife, you may even if you buy your fish pre-filleted, it's great for taking the scales off of it. Alex Chavez's demo. I learned this from him. It is so freaking awesome. And the last thing I want to say about that is signature set, build it up. They love it. Table knife, make them fall from the steak knife, have them choose whichever they want. Complete set, build it up. Engravable, family heirloom. You're gonna remember from your family. I refer to all my complete set customers who said they got the plaque with, if you value your lives, stay away from my knives, or para la familia de Alma y Alfonso, for the family of Alma y Alfonso, like my brother, or like familia, their last name. Things like that, and they paint the picture for them all the freaking time. Oh my gosh, the complete set's so awesome, guys. You gotta freaking show them how they're gonna pass it down to their kids. They're gonna get sharpened, whatever. They don't need another knife ever again. It's the most valuable set. Best bang for the buck, and you gave them for free like the freaking kitchen tools and entertainer pack with a can opener set of cheese knife. That's what I do. Okay, sorry. And then I close on the homemaker. So like, By the way, Mrs. Jones, these are 3 sets. A basic set comes with a carving set, which you use for seasonal stuff, a bread knife, your brisket knife, a chef knife for veggies, and the smaller knives. And it comes with 8 little table knives. But now, by the way, and then I price them. That's how I started out, and I just say, so Mrs. Jones, this one is more of the popular ones. It's for basic cooking for people who cook maybe 1 or 2 times a week. It comes with 7 knives, 2 forks, a spatula, 8 little table knives on a wood block, and you get a little cutting board too. And if you, by the way, if you're considering a set of Cutco, did you say you would prefer the table knives or the steak knives? Okay, the steak knives, cool. This one doesn't come with it, but it comes with table knives. Now the great thing about this set is that it doesn't cost as much as a $4,000 for the Wusthof homemaker they have, or their sales price is about $2,000. The basic set is only like, write it out, give it to them, right? The basic set is only like $12.12, paid in full. But honestly, Mrs. Jones, most of my customers who can afford to pay it on full take advantage of the 5-pay plan because it's interest free. So like, why not? It'll only be $269 today. Do you want to go ahead and get that with your, so it'll only be $269 today. And also, if you get this today, I can give you the super shears for free, which is saving you $112. And Mrs. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Do you want to go ahead and get your basic set today with your free shears? And they're always like, no, show me the other sets. And I was like, oh, cool.
The complete and the
because like I made the basic set seem like crap.
Built it up so much. Yeah, that makes sense.
They're like expecting me to close on the complete set, and they always ask me.
Right.
And then like little seats throughout it.
That's
Oh, another key thing I do with that one to make it sound crappier, the basic set. I always say with the super shears. I think I learned this one from Alec. I don't know, some Vector Connect video, really. By the way, Mrs. Jones, basic set is awesome, but the complete set, what I love about it is that it has the super shears in the block. Most of my customers that get the basic set, like about 6 months down the line or 8 months, they always call me to buy new super shears because the kids lost their freaking something. So with this one, you actually get the super shears in the block, and you don't have to worry about that. So that's like another key nugget to make it sound the deal I'm giving them is crap. It's a good deal, right? But
okay, so how do you handle the objection of your dough taking too long?
That is a good question.
Too long?
I just apologize for it at the end. I own
Do
it.
you let them know in the beginning?
No, I own it. No, I own it.
Okay.
Oh, I tell them. I don't know. No, I tell them what I'm going to do exactly.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? We're going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings waiting to mingle. So we got to roll. All right. So any other tips that you have?
Thank you, Fran.
Questions they can ask later. Any other tips
Thank
that
you,
you
Fran.
have?
Own recommendations. Recommendations is a fun part of the job. I got an 40 this morning. Recommendations. Have your approach memorized. Have your approaches memorized. All of it. All of it memorized.
All right. Cool.
Page
All
15.
right,
Page
Thank
15.
you.